All right, let's jump right in. We're always told, right? Shine bright, show everyone what you've got. That's how you get ahead. But what if that's totally wrong? What if being too good at your job, too brilliant, could actually be the one thing that leads to your downfall? It sounds crazy, I know. But today, we're going to break down one of the most important and maybe most misunderstood rules of strategy. Law 1. Never outshine the master.
So here's the core idea right here. At first glance, you might think, oh, so just flatter your boss? But no, it's so much deeper than that. This isn't about just sucking up. It's actually about strategy. It's about understanding the people above you, their egos, their insecurities, all of it. You gotta remember, power is a game of psychology. And a lot of the time, the smartest move you can make is just making sure the person in charge feels secure. That's the real key.
Okay, so theory is one thing, but what does this actually look like in real life? Because when this goes wrong, it goes really wrong. Let's dig into the nitty-gritty of this law and see why showing off your skills can be, well, a seriously dangerous game. And here it is, the big paradox. I mean, think about it. You're just trying to do a great job, right? You want to impress the people in charge, show them you're valuable. But what you don't realize is that your amazing work might be making them feel, well, kind of dumb, or worse, insecure. All of a sudden, you're not the star employee anymore, you're a threat. And what happens to threats? They get eliminated. You want a perfect example of this in action? Oh, we've got a great one. Let's take a little trip back in time, all the way to 17th century France. We're about to meet a guy named Nicolas Fouquet. He was brilliant, he was ambitious, and he made one of the biggest mistakes in history. He was the finance minister for the famous Sun King, Louis XIV, and his story is a masterclass in what not to do. So who was this guy, Nicolas Fouquet? Well, to put it simply, he was a rock star. I mean, this man was the guy. Super clever, totally indispensable to the king, and he loved to live large. We're talking lavish parties, incredible art, poetry, the whole shebang. He was living the high life. And you know, his talent made him powerful for sure. But it was his need to show it all off, his love for being the center of attention, that was going to be his downfall. Okay, so here's where things start to go sideways. The year is 1661. The prime minister dies, and Fouquet thinks, this is it. This is my shot. He's totally expecting to get the top job. But then, King Louis pulls a fast one and just gets rid of the position altogether. Poof, gone. Now Fouquet starts to panic. He's thinking, uh-oh, I'm on the outs with the king. He feels the power slipping away. So he comes up with this huge, high-stakes plan to get back in the king's good graces. What's the plan? He decides he's going to throw a party. But not just any party, the greatest party anyone has ever seen. And when I say this wasn't just any party, I mean it. This was an event designed to make a statement. He held it at his incredible new palace, this place called Val-le-Vicomte. Everything, and I mean everything, was planned down to the last detail to be this amazing tribute to the king. But there's a really fine line, isn't there? A line between a tribute and a threat. And Fouquet was about to cross it. This is where it all went wrong. See, on paper, the party was just a housewarming for his new chateau, but everybody knew the real reason was to impress King Louis, who was the guest of honor. But here's the problem. When you have the most amazing food, the most incredible entertainment, gardens that are just out of this world, the message isn't hooray for the king. The message, loud and clear, is look at me. Look how rich I am. Look how amazing my taste is. He thought he was honoring the king, but what he was really doing was showing him up. I mean, the party itself was a masterpiece, a total work of art. But the psychology behind it? It was a complete and utter disaster. So let's break down exactly why this brilliant plan backfired so spectacularly. It really all boils down to one simple thing. Imagine you're the king. You walk into this party, and you see a palace that is way, way nicer than your own. You see a level of wealth and style that puts you to shame. Do you feel honored? No way. You feel small. You feel one-upped. And that's exactly what happened to Louis. He saw a subject who wasn't just his equal, but maybe even his superior in taste and power. And that was unforgivable. Fouquet didn't make his master feel superior. He made him feel insecure. And the result? Just 3 months after that incredible party, Fouquet was arrested. He spent the rest of his life locked away in a prison. So there you have it. Fouquet's story is the ultimate warning, isn't it? He threw the party of a lifetime, a spectacle meant to prove his loyalty and impress his boss.
but all he really did was shine a spotlight on himself that was so bright it completely overshadowed the king. And that brings up a really interesting question for all of us, right? Think about your own life, at work, in any project you're on. When you're trying to get ahead, are you making the people in charge feel good about themselves, or are you accidentally making them see you as the threat?